Hey, what's up, YouTube? It is Saturday. I don't even know the date today. End of February, 2024. My goal was for this weekend to get everything painted and as much as I can get it assembled. And as you can see behind me here, we're on target. So let me get the camera turned around here and I'll show you guys what we got going on. I'm excited with everything right now. You know, this is a really cool stage in the build, a really cool stage in the process as far as, you know, actually a year and a half worth of work and parts and, you know, measuring and cutting and welding and all that stuff. And it's finally starting to come together. There's a lot to do yet, but I'm starting to see the end result on the back end of this truck. So let's get the camera turned around and I'll show you guys what's going on. All right, this is what we got. This is where we're at. Everything has been painted. Let me back it out a little bit here. Everything's been painted. And once again, I used Rust-Oleum. I bought a quart of it and I mixed it and shot it with a Harbor Freight gun, the purple one. And I mixed it to a ratio of 3 parts paint to 1 part thinner, which I used acetone, and 1 cap of hardener or catalyst from Tractor Supply. Mixed it, left it sit for a half an hour, sprayed it at about 30 psi, and it turned out really nice. So here's the deal. Let's start here. We got the air compressors mounted in the back. They sit there. Have them mounted on, I don't know what you call them, not insulators, isolators? Yeah, isolators to dampen the vibration. These are the Air Max compressors. I don't know if they have a model number on them or not. I forget the model number. Got the Boyd tank, Boyd welding right there. I did have to, with the Rideman wrench notch, this section is removable, which is great, but the way I had to make a spacer to get it up. I wanted just to give it a little bit more, you know, I originally made this spacer thinking I was going to make it out of rubber, and I have it. So my idea is it adds thickness to it. Maybe some of the vibration will be dampened between these 2 layers of aluminum. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. And I still might put a piece of rubber there or inner tube in there. You know, cut a piece of thin rubber or something to put in between there to dampen the vibration. So I did have to notch this out slightly. I did get into a little bit there. This tank has to come back out, and I'm gonna bevel that corner to clean that up a little bit. That I know no one will see that, but that bothers me. Looking down on this piece, visually it looks cool right now, and I scuffed it up because I plan on painting it. I'm gonna paint that strip here the same as the frame. So when you open the hatch here, when you open the hatch, you won't see these 2 tabs. They'll kind of disappear. The battery's in, battery's mounted. I made that battery holder myself. Worked out good. It is in there with, there's a welded nut on the bottom here, and this threads in from the top. The tray works out really well. So yeah, my other compressor sits over here. These are missing holes yet, or missing bolts yet, because my bed mounts for the rear sill here. I've welded tabs onto that, and it actually bolts on here. I think I might open those holes up. I gotta go measure if I have room, and then tap these so I can just run bolts in instead of trying to worry about having, you know, to feed a nut up under here. So I need to finish that. This is my airlift management system. I'm gonna run the pressure version, so it'll be, you know, bag pressure will determine the height. What are you doing?
Coming in here.
Stay out for a minute, please. So the air pressure, so they have a 3P and a 3, what is the other one? 3S? I think a 3S with the sensors that actually senses the height and adjusts your height, but this one will run on pressure. I can upgrade it if I need to down the road. But my idea is, a lot of guys mount these here. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want all the lines and stuff running over this tank. I wanted to keep it clean. So I think, I thought about mounting it in the cab and then running lines back. You have to run a bunch of lines. You got to run lines from the tank to that, and then out from that to each of the 4 corners. And then you have your dump as well. But I think it'll be cleaner. I'm actually going to revise this battery box or battery tray. This hinge, I'm going to knock this pin out, and I'm going to redo this design up here. And since all the lines will be soft lines, it's electrical and the air lines, I'm going to mount it to this. That way I can hinge this up if I need to get the battery out. Everything will be soft, nothing's going to be hardwired in as far as the plumbing goes and the electrical, obviously. But the idea is to hinge that up. When I hinge that up, I can get access to the battery. Plus, it's out of the way. My tank, the exit will come here into here, which will be tucked away. And then I can run lines from each bag, like my left rear. It can go over here, up along the tank, and then up top. Same here. And to the front, I'm hoping I can just run up and across that way. So that's that. The panhard bar is the Alex V panhard bar. I think it's Alex V. I'm sorry, Alex, if I'm screwing this up, but Alex V Metalworks, I believe. The only thing I had to alter was the linkage, or the upright post here that he sends was too long and it was hitting here, so I had to cut my own one on the ArcDroid plasma cutter. I got the rear end all back and painted and buttoned up. It's awesome. We have Dominator 2500 series bags in there. And they sit in there great. The bigger ones, the 2600, in here, I don't know if you can see up here, that bolt head, they actually rub that. So Rideman Ranch, Spencer, I don't know if that's an issue with just my setup or if I did something wrong, but I have, everything centered, but they're rubbing, so I went with a smaller bag. So the smaller diameter bag clears, and it's not an issue. So if you see this, let me know. Maybe I screwed something up. All right, shock mounts are done. This is all the way aired out. These mounts were off of No Limit, as well as the lowers. I basically cut them up, and I welded these tabs to the Tinwork trailing arms. Tinwork trailing arms stop here, and then I added these blocks on top of it to give me a little bit more lift. Painted, like I said, all these components were disassembled. I painted even painted the U-bolts up here. So that's that up front. The only thing really different up here, just to give you a look at the rear end, that's been painted. Super happy with this satin finish instead of a high gloss, and it looks better than flat. I'm not a fan of flat. Got the drive shaft installed. It's a 2-piece drive shaft off a 3/4 ton, which means it has the bigger diameter. I don't know, what is that, 3-inch? Up front here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's the carrier bearing. I should have brought a light. I can't turn on. Hang on a second here. There it is. Still got to tighten these guys up, but these are the Tinworks trailing arms. This is like a slip yoke here. The cross member is the Tinworks cross member and allows the top to be open, so you have plenty of room there. And the exhaust needs to, channel through there. Have the cab sitting on blocks yet because I still got to re-drill the holes for the cab mounts. But yeah, drive shaft's been completely rebuilt as well. Currently I have the transport wheels on the back with an 1.5 inch spacer, which you can see in there. So, like I said, all in all, it's starting to come together. We're getting there. So the U-bolts, they hang down pretty low, so I gotta, right there, I gotta lop them off. There's that other transport wheel that I have painted up white and black. Just trying to do everything to the best of my ability. And there's my wife. You made it in my update.
Video.
Are you in sweatpants?
I am.
Do a spin. You might get me 100,000 or 1,000 subscribers.
Subscribe below.
All right. I was just doing. I'm 11 minutes into it.
Oh well.
All
It's
right.
time to cut it off, but it looks sweet. It's my YouTube lingo. Sick.
Peace out, prescribers.